Mortgage Talk with Mark, where I'm very excited to reintroduce a friend of mine and my guest today, Jack Wilhelm with the Wilhelm Law Firm. Jack was on this show about a year ago because his specialty, his expertise in trust and family law and that sort of thing. Is that correct?
Well, it's one of them.
Okay,
yes.
one of them. Okay.
Yes.
But we talked this week about this show, and he said, Mark, I want to come to it a little bit different angle. And I would suggest to you guys to stay tuned, buckle up, because you're going to learn some stuff. This is what I would call a public service announcement, because there's going to be some things Jack will be referring to that he's learned over the last couple of years, really around scams, internet scams, cyber crimes, if you will. So I want to welcome my friend Jack Wilhelm.
Well, Mark, it's nice to be back, and I'm always flattered to be included.
Well, you're obviously, this is going to be great, you know, for the great state of Louisiana. I do want to mention that.
And you're right. My talk, I've tentatively titled my talk, Internet Scams for the Over 39-Year-Old.
Okay. I qualify.
Yeah. Well, many do.
It's amazing what's going on out there. It's scary.
It is. It's
it really
very
is.
Scary. It really is. And I, of course, I've been a lawyer since the war.
Civil War?
Spanish American War. And I had never expected anything like this.
Yeah.
And when I was in law school, we talked about con artists. That's the days of yore.
Right.
But to my surprise, I find myself consulting with people. People come into my office and they have been cheated, conned, and the term now is scam.
Okay.
That means they've been cheated.
Right.
I'm going to open with a real horror story.
Okay. The stories are going to be impactful because people can relate to that, you know, on some level.
A couple of years ago, an over 65-year-old man who was a high-tech engineer, and he had either worked for Dell and retired and was now working for IBM, or had worked for IBM, was retired and working for Dell. I don't remember which, but he came in.
Smart guy.
Yeah, smart guy, and a sophisticated guy, and somebody that understands the internet.
Right.
And he came in and he said, I think I've been scammed. And so I said, well, let's talk it over, an initial consultation. And he said, well, I joined what I would call a Facebook chat room.
Okay.
Which we have
on investments or something? Or?
Well, we have those in our industry.
Sure.
You know, I do a lot of work with oil and gas companies.
That's right.
So there are lawyers all around the country that represent oil and gas countries. And we have chat rooms where we just visit about, I guess for lack of better words, best practices.
Yeah. Mastermind, best practices. Yeah.
And we don't share information about our clients or anything. There's nothing wrong with it. And he was doing the same thing. He had found a chat room for, I guess, tech engineers, and they were sharing information about how to do things. They weren't sharing trade secrets or anything.
Right.
Neither Dell,
nothing illegal, just
nor IBM concerned about it. But while in this chat room for probably a year or two, someone in the chat room that he trusted located his email address and started emailing him on the side.
And he didn't know him.
Well, he never met him.
Yeah.
But he knew him
through the room. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He knew him from the chat room.
Yeah.
And he was offered an investment opportunity that he could invest, and this number kind of astounds me, $5 million to invest.
Oh.
Now, I know for you that's nothing, but for me that's a lot of money. And he was guaranteed a 40% return in 6 months.
Yeah.
And typical engineer fashion, he documented all this. He sent the money in, all of that. 6 months later, where's my money? Well, we've got it for you. It's in Singapore, but we need another $500,000 to process it.
Oh, Lord. And
he paid it. Now, by the time he came to me, it was hopeless.
Right.
His question to me, could we sue him in the United States? And the answer is, well, I guess so.
Right.
But for what?
If you can find him, probably.
Well, you can't find him. He's not here.
Right. He's gone.
And the second thing, and it was just tragic, is, that we looked on the internet and the Google website, and there was a place where it said, this is a scam. The address that he had was a post office box in Singapore.
It's just unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
It's so sad.
It's so sad. And you look back and you say, how could you do something like this? We turned him into the FBI, of course.
Right.
While also gave him the name of I knew a lawyer in Singapore,
Mm.
and there is a rule of law there.
Mm.
So, for him to contact. But his remedies, not much.
No.
The U.S. courts don't have any control over what goes on in Singapore. Singapore cops don't show up and
No, they
take
don't
you away.
care.
And
Why would they care? Yeah.
well, Singapore cops aren't going to show up in the United States and take you away
That's
in
right.
shackles.
Right.
And we're not going to be able to go over to Singapore and take somebody away in
Mhm.
shackles. So that's not the way it's system. And, of course, the last tragedy of this is that all of his investment companies that he had invested his savings with advised him not to do this.
Right. God, it's just insane. He's worked his whole life to make that kind of money, and it's all gone like that.
Yeah.
Now that's the extreme. But
That is the
let's
worst I've seen.
Let's talk about a lot of examples that maybe you've seen that maybe people lose 20 grand or 50 grand, not 5 million, but still it's painful.
Well, I want to go through a few things how
Let's
people
do.
get hit
Yeah.
first, and then we'll come
what
back
you're
to
seeing
that.
out
Yeah.
there as an attorney.
Okay, first of all, let's keep in mind that older adults,
or targets.
they're targets.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
We don't think of ourselves as being wealthy, and maybe by some standards we're not.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I think about my dad who worked 45 years for the telephone company,
Mm-hmm.
never had an IRA.
Yeah.
He had a pension.
Got a pension, yep.
So his assets were very few.
Right.
And he had a nice pension.
Sure.
So he had a comfortable living.
Sure.
But he had very few assets.
Didn't have a lot of cash sitting around.
And it was really in the 1980s, so we're coming into this, where IRAs and 401ks became popular and largely substitutes for company pensions.
Right.
So now we have control over a vast amount of money.
Yeah. Trillions as a society.
Well, I only have a couple of billion.
Well, it adds up. It adds up.
It adds up.
You know what I'm saying?
And I was raised, probably like you, by parents who had lived through the Depression.
That's
or
right.
Grandparents who'd lived through the
That's right.
Depression. And they told always keep your finances on the side. Good advice.
Mm-hmm.
And we're poor.
Mm-hmm.
Reuse everything,
Mm-hmm.
which I still do.
Yeah.
And that's good. But we have to kind of put that bias aside and that self-deprecation that we talk about. I'm poor.
Right.
And acknowledge ourselves that we've got some pretty big assets.
That's right.
That $40,000 house you bought in 1980 is now worth $800,000.
Exactly.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we need to keep that in mind. And
that's a good point.
We also have to keep in mind that we're over 39. So, I mean, and
that's in the rear view, man.
Yeah. I like to tell the story in law school that, we had Selectric. It was a big deal when we got typewriters that you could erase.
As opposed to whiteout.
That changed the legal profession forever.
Yeah, I bet. For sure.
And it was really the year after I got out of law school that they began to do, I guess what I'd call online research, which is what my son does, who's 41. He's a lawyer. I mean, the idea of him going into a law library is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I'm still back looking at the books.
Right.
But that's the way I was taught, because that's what we had. So we're not as familiar with these things.
No.
Whatever we've learned on the run. Now, I do want to talk about a couple of things that come up. Some of them are kind of, one is
this may be a two-parter because there's so much to this stuff.
Well, we can go as long as you want to.
I mean, it's crazy.
One is an imposter scam, obviously, for the elderly people. Your grandchildren call you, they're in prison, they need money. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Medicare scams. And I don't see a lot of those, but there are people that want to sell you over the phone medical devices, something to that effect. Be careful with that. One that I think is very popular is tech support scams. You're getting a contact that your computer has been infected. It's got a virus. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit, but that's one you need to really watch for. Aside from doing nothing.
I've gotten that too. I've gotten that.
Aside from doing nothing, you need to find a defense mechanism to have your computer checked.
Yeah, for sure. I'm also getting calls. I've gotten calls last year from supposedly the IRS.
Yes.
That I need to call back right away and I owe some money or they're going to come arrest me, that sort of thing. It's very
Well,
threatening.
With you, it would be understandable, but
Maybe it's real.
but no, the IRS is not going to come to get you.
No.
Now I will diverge into another story for
Yeah.
just a minute. It's not quite IRS related. A couple of weeks ago, a young man, somebody in his early 20s, nice fellow, called me and wanted to he said, I think I may be in trouble. And I said, well, you know, the initial consultation is just $250. Why don't you come in and tell me what it is? So he prints all this stuff out. And what he had done is he had gone on an internet website to look at a naked girl.
Imagine that.
Imagine. Probably not the thing to do.
Right.
But I would imagine more than one of us.
This is a Christian radio show.
I've never done it, but
right. But people do.
But I mean, but we know people do.
But he's a young man too.
Now, and soon afterwards, he got a letter from something called Interpol.
Yeah.
Now, Interpol is an international crime organization, crime prevention organization, and maybe the FBI and the
big deal.
MI6 and so forth
Yeah.
subscribe to it to share information.
Yeah.
But he got a letter from Interpol saying he was going to be arrested by Interpol because he was participating in a child pornography scam. Well, we knew it was a scam, and
Sure.
I told him to just throw it in the trash because Interpol, like we said earlier, has no police in the United States. You will never get a knock on the door and saying, this is Interpol, come out with your hands up.
Right. They're not even here.
They're not here. They're
Yeah.
not supposed to be here.
Right.
And, you know, it's no different than a British Bobby showing up at your front door and say, okay, mate, come with me.
Yeah. Not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Maybe in a bad dream it would, but not in reality.
Not going to happen.
What did the letter want him to do? Send some money? Or?
Yeah, they told him that they wanted him to send some money, and he was going to have to participate in a what I would say a system to rejuvenate or to reform some of these young girls and stuff like that. What I have surmised is that the scammer actually set up the webpage that he visited, created the girl. Whether she really exists or not, I don't know.
Right.
And so that's what he went to see. And of course, once he went to that webpage, they had his contact
Yeah, he's
information.
tracked. Right. He's tracked.
And so it's it was almost funny.
Yeah. Not real funny.
But it scared him.
I bet it did.
And so after I took a couple of $1,000 to no, I'm kidding. You know, he's fine. He's fine. But the other thing so that leads me to another romance scams. And Mark, we're going to talk a little bit about this in another trip, but I don't want to break your heart.
I know it's coming.
It's going to hurt. As attractive as you are.
Yeah. Yeah. 25-year-olds aren't interested?
Probably not.
Well, that's good. That's because I'm very well happily married. Hallelujah.
Well, I was visiting with a doctor today over a skin thing that is just fine, by the way. And she was a very attractive young doctor. And I said, you know, I need to look good for the over 90-year-olds at the assisted living.
Won't be long, unfortunately.
So, you know, young girls probably just aren't interested in me, and
Right.
young boys just probably aren't interested in my wife.
Right.
At least not for the reasons that they should be.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that there are too many 80-year-olds surfing the internet looking for love that are very reputable or very smart.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful about that. I want to say one other thing to watch are charity scams.
Okay.
And I see churches fall into this too. And there's an organization here in Austin that does a lot of charitable outreach. I'm not going to name names, maybe one that helps immigrants or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you know that?
Right. How
do you know that? You know, the first thing to start is, do they have a 501c3, which means they've been approved by the federal government?
And that's easy to look up?
Well, it should be.
Yeah.
If they don't have one, it's not.
Right.
You know, the charities that I donate to directly, and I donate to one that's very active in the Ukraine, they have their 501c3 on their webpage.
Okay.
You can look it up. Now, having said
I didn't know if you could Google 501c corporate.
they don't have an index.
They don't have an index. That was my question.
So that's a good question, and I didn't answer that correctly. That's something they should be able to provide you. And
I would think
and
so.
again,
Sure.
a web page should have that.
Absolutely.
like I said, I had this group in the Ukraine, and you can actually go on This Child Here, and you can see they've got their 501c3 right there. Now, I do want to say one other thing. This doesn't really
But you
get
still probably need to verify it,
well.
because if it's there, they could have made it up.
I guess they could have made it up, but that gives me a lot of comfort. But what I would point out to a charitable organization only has to donate 10% of its income.
I didn't know that.
To charity.
I figured it's 50 or 60. I didn't know.
So that means they can pay
big salaries, right?
And we know a lot of former elected officials on both sides of the aisle that run charitable organizations.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody needs to ask every now and then, how much money is actually going to charity, as opposed to how much are we funding that former elected official.
Now, they have to report that, don't they?
Oh, sure.
I mean, that's public information.
That's public information.
You have to go look for it.
If you want to look for it. If you want to look for it.
Yeah.
But don't be a sap.
Right.
And this really goes on. We were talking about Protestant mainline countries, religions,
churches.
We're both, I think, active in those.
Yeah.
In one, most of our budget goes into office salary and building maintenance. How much of it is really going into that guy that's in the Congo trying to convert people to Christianity?
Into ministries or missions. Yeah, exactly.
So you need to be very thoughtful about that. I want to talk a little bit about investment and crypto scams.
Okay.
I've got a saying for myself: if it ain't on the stock exchange, it ain't in my portfolio.
Warren Buffett says something like that too.
Well, he's almost as smart as I am.
But he does say something about that.
We're going to talk more probably in the last 9 minutes on that than anything. But this is one.
I want to bring one thing up before I forget, before time runs out. It has to do with my industry. We talked about this offline a little bit before the show. Was people who are going to close on a mortgage loan and have a large down payment, possibly of $100,000, $200,000. Sometimes right 2 or 3 days before closing, they'll get an email that you should be wiring your money to this account. And a lot of that's a huge scam, because your money's somewhere in Nigeria or Pakistan or somewhere, and it's gone. So we always very clear with people, make sure that you get your wire instructions from the title company. Okay. And not just off of some email, because somehow they know you're buying a property. How they know, I don't know. But
that is an excellent point. And there is apparently now the ability to mimic phone numbers and to mimic email addresses pretty well, and to mimic text addresses. So when you're getting something that's important, financial, you probably should stop, pick up the phone and call that company and confirm. And you should confirm and the same thing with their email and everything like that, because unfortunately, this phishing, as you call it, it's a good term. They've gotten more and more sophisticated.
Very.
And now it's possible. Some of this, some people have legitimate reasons for it. They want a telephone number that cannot be traced.
Yeah.
And that some of that may be legitimate.
Sure.
But a lot of it is not.
It's not. Yeah.
But it'll come through, and it looks like it's coming from your wife.
Right.
So we're down to our last 7 minutes. That was pretty quick.
It goes fast. That's why I say we may want to double dip this one someday again.
Well, I'm going to hit you at the end on some things that I think the over 39 crowd should consider.
Okay, please do.
And of course, the over 39 crowd is on Facebook, not on TikTok. But Facebook is not a good place for expressing one's political views.
Right.
And it's not a good place to get political information.
Right. I see it all the time personally.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
And I probably have been inclined to issue something.
Yeah, me too. I'm guilty.
But I'm learning more and more that
not a good idea.
I'm a lawyer. I'm not a politician. I'm not a statesman.
Right.
I've never really even met anybody that lived in Iran. I'm not a good contact. My opinion on this is very filtered.
My context doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. The second thing, very practical, and I see this a lot, and I've talked to my clients about it. Facebook is not a good place to advertise your holiday. It just looks like
that's a great point.
hello, I'm out of the country.
Right.
Please consider breaking into my home and also steal from my bank and financial accounts.
When are you leaving for Italy again, Jack? You have
You'll
a
know
trip
when I
planned.
get back.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
So instead, share your travel pictures, which I think is perfectly good, and it's a good
It's
use
fun,
of Facebook.
sure.
I've reintroduced myself to a lot of high school and college
That's right.
classmates through Facebook. I haven't seen in many years. Share those pictures when you get back.
Yeah, exactly.
Say,
That's a good point.
2 weeks ago, I was in Italy.
Right.
And here are some pictures.
Right. As opposed to doing a live Facebook from, the Vatican or something,
Yeah. The other thing that people tend to think that they can somehow or another, because I'm only have 30 Facebook friends, that it'll never get out of there. And that's just false. Again, these fraudsters have ways of finding things. And I'll just tell real quickly, this is not Facebook related, but years ago, the FBI contacted me, not being in trouble,
Right.
but an acquaintance, relative, had been detained in Iraq, kidnapped, and they were trying to get him out.
A relative of yours?
Not mine.
Oh.
Of a client.
Oh, got it.
And they wanted to use, this was a little bit before internet was too common, they
Sure.
wanted to use my fax machine to fax information.
Yeah.
They didn't want to use anybody else's fax machine, but this is a 2-man office, so it's pretty secure.
Right.
You
told me the FBI wanted to do this.
The FBI,
Okay,
so they
got
could
it.
contact my client
Got it.
through my office, which I was happy to do, and it turned out well. But what was interesting to me is that the FBI told us a lot of things not to do.
Mm.
And one thing they said, do not put this young man's name on a prayer list.
Okay.
Now, who would have thunk it?
Yeah, who would think that?
Now, who would have thunk
I don't even get it.
But I mean, prayer lists go out all over the place.
Sure.
You see a prayer list, oh, Mark's father is ill. And
Right.
so you send it out to 300 of your best friends
Right.
and say, and to
Right.
your church and every
I
place
see it every
else.
day, almost.
And it goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah, yeah.
The second thing about it is that you need to understand that professional criminals are referred to as professional criminals because this is their chosen career.
And they're very good at it.
They are very good.
Yeah, they're masters.
And
they're smart people generally. I mean,
you are not.
No.
Lawyers always tell people that are being deposed in a civil action to be very careful because a lawyer's going to take your deposition. He's probably taken about 300 of those.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got tricks.
Yeah. He knows how to manipulate a little bit.
He's better at deposing than you are at giving testimony.
Right.
That doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means he's real trained.
Sure.
And so we talked about when in doubt, when you get an email, a text, a phone call, stop, get the real number,
Mm-hmm.
call back and confirm.
I got one yesterday from Bank of America. We talked about your situation, and it had an attachment like I'm supposed to open this thing up. And when I didn't open the attachment, but I did push reply. It has my name as a sender. My name. Yeah, I'm thinking, there's something up with this.
Well, I remember, I guess it was 15, 20 years ago, I got my first one of those.
Yeah.
And it was from Bank America, supposedly. And they said, we think your accounts may have been compromised, and we need certain basic information, your mother's name, your social security number, and
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. Who was your best friend in high school or whatever, which I'm still trying to figure out. And I thought about, I started to fill it out. And then I thought about it for a moment. I said, I don't have a bank account.
Yeah. Maybe I'm opening one right now. We only got a couple minutes left. Wrap up.
I'm going to wrap up real quick.
Things
I'm going
people
to talk about a couple of things about, and this is really investment opportunities.
Mm.
Investment opportunities don't come across the internet. They
No.
don't come across by phone. Investment opportunities come from brokerage houses like Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley,
Sure.
JP Morgan, Fidelity. That's where your money should be. Someplace, I always say someplace big enough that they don't want to take your money.
Yeah, exactly. They don't need to take your money.
If you've got $1 million, remember Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, probably drops that out of his pocket on the way to lunch.
Right.
He just
It's
doesn't care
change.
about it. It's loose change.
Right.
So be very careful about how you get your investment advice, and always check it out with a family member.
Yep.
Somebody possibly younger, maybe a child or even a grandchild,
Yeah.
and somebody that has some business sense.
Sure.
Not necessarily the one you like the best,
Yeah.
the one that has business sense. I want to talk real quick about mail. Blue boxes. And this is a term I did not know until a couple
Never
of
heard
years
of it.
ago. Okay, well, you know, mailboxes. If you're walking around a big city, you
Oh,
see
sure.
mailboxes.
Sure.
They're
Sure.
blue.
Sure. Sure. I use them all
You
the time.
stick them. You use them all the time.
Right.
Well,
This morning I put in one in.
they have been compromised,
Mhm.
and a lot of these mailboxes can now be opened by third parties.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Now, the third parties, again, being professional, are not interested in the invitations to your children's wedding.
Right. Right.
But when they see an envelope addressed to the Internal Revenue Service, they surmise that probably it's not a wedding invitation, and it may have a check.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what they will do is they will go about it. They will steal it, wash it, and take the money.
And cash it.
And take the money. So in summary, your computer should be regularly inspected,
Mhm.
and your children or grandchildren help you find a place to do that. But you should for viruses.
Okay.
You should develop a good relationship with a bank branch manager. If you really are concerned about this, consider having a second signatory on your checking and investment accounts.
Okay.
You can have your son, your wife, somebody like that. We're over.
Yeah. We got to wrap it up.
Okay, we're wrapping it up now.
We are
Okay.
wrap up. Yeah. I mean, 30 seconds.
All right. Well, the only one thing I want to say is I'm a lawyer, and I want you to go to a lawyer to get a will. I want you to get a lawyer when you get an oil and gas lease. But lawyers are not the best people. If a lawyer is giving you investment advice, run.
Yeah.
And if a lawyer is also representing you and also someone else, run.
Yeah. That's good advice.
That is just, you
I
know,
love
you
to
want
end with
somebody
that.
on your side. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, thanks, Jack. It's always a pleasure.
It's nice to have
good
you.
information, brother. And we'll have to do it again.